She lifts her up and slaps.
This cutie is known as one of the most beautiful female fighters in the world. But very soon, she may be known for something even bigger, becoming a UFC champion.
A knockout!
Tracy Cortez became a fighter to honor the memory of her late brother. She turned his dream of becoming a UFC fighter into her own mission, and now she's fighting to make that dream legendary.
Finishes her.
Tracy, come on over here. You're in.
Despite all the pain and hardship she has faced, she now stands closer than ever to winning championship gold. But where did this Mexican beauty come from? Let's go back to the very beginning. Tracy Hard R. Cortez was born on December 10th, 1993. She comes from a Mexican family and grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, in a household built by hard-working immigrant parents. Even with the challenges around her, Tracy describes her childhood as something truly beautiful.
Growing up, I had a beautiful childhood.
Although her parents worked long and demanding hours, they always did their best for the family. Her mother, who later became a U.S. citizen, worked for the city of Phoenix from morning until evening, while her father worked as a truck driver and was rarely home. When he was around, he was loving but strict. He believed that as a girl, Tracy should stay home, avoid sports, and focus on household responsibilities. But Tracy had other plans. Growing up with 3 brothers made her competitive and fearless. She became a tomboy and wanted to do everything her brothers did. Whenever they went to wrestling practice, she would ask, "Hey, can I join too?" But she faced resistance. People around her, and even her brothers at times, would tell her, "You're a girl, you shouldn't be here." Among all her brothers, Tracy shared a special connection with Jose Cortez. She described him as a leader of the family, the person who kept everyone together. Then everything changed. When Jose started suffering from serious health problems, the whole family became worried. Later, they received heartbreaking news. It was cancer. For Tracy, who was still very young, the diagnosis was devastating. And as Jose Cortez's condition continued to worsen, the family prepared for the hardest moment of their lives. When they
Niño precioso, más que la niño, risueño niño, Dios del amor.
After losing Jose Cortez, the entire family felt like everything had fallen apart. The emotional pain hit hard, and Tracy began coping in ways that only pushed her further away from herself. Tracy Cortez started spending time with the wrong crowd. She later admitted that she skipped school, abused drugs, and tried to escape reality through partying and drinking. Looking back on that period of her life, she said, "With the things I was doing, I could have died. 110%. Her rebellious lifestyle eventually reached a breaking point. Between the drugs, partying, and constant trouble, her father finally had enough. Tracy remembers that painful moment clearly. "My dad kicked me out right before I turned 17. My entire family disowned me." But even during the darkest time of her life, one person never stopped believing in her, her mother. Tracy later shared, "My mom was the only one who stayed in touch. There wasn't a single day I didn't hear from her." Her mother's support became her lifeline. Then one day, she said something that changed everything. "Jose was fighting for his life, and you're killing yours." Those words hit harder than anything else. That moment became the turning point. Instead of destroying herself, Tracy decided to rebuild herself. She started taking wrestling seriously and made the decision to fight for something bigger than herself. To honor her brother's memory, Tracy Cortez got a tattoo dedicated to Jose Cortez. Even though she struggled with depression after his passing, she slowly found her way back with the support of her family and 2 people who played an important role in her comeback. Henry Cejudo and Angel Cejudo, close friends of her older brother. Inspired by Jose's unfinished dream, Tracy fully committed herself to MMA. She began training in local gyms, learning different martial arts disciplines, and sharpening her skills day after day. What started as simple interest quickly became a complete obsession. Her amateur MMA journey officially began in 2013, and over time, she collected impressive victories while gaining confidence with every fight. Each match became another lesson and another step toward her future. Unfortunately, Footage of her very first amateur fights doesn't exist anymore, but one fight did survive, her fifth amateur fight, and many consider it one of the most exciting performances of her amateur career. It happened on April 11th, 2015. Tracy Cortez stepped into the cage focused and calm, light on her feet, hands raised, completely locked in. Her opponent, Roxanne CCR, moved forward carefully, testing the distance with cautious jabs. Then suddenly, boom, Tracy fired a powerful body kick that instantly changed the energy of the fight. The pace exploded. And then came one of her signature weapons, her overhand right. She landed it perfectly. Roxanne CCR crashed the canvas. This wasn't just another amateur fight anymore. This was a statement.
Cortez's overhand right just drops Roxanne and back.
Tracy Cortez wastes no time. She follows up with a relentless barrage of punches, forcing the referee to jump in and stop the fight. Just like that, it's over. Now, let's break down that finishing sequence. Cortez throws a low kick fake, creating the perfect opening. The moment her opponent reacts, she fires a clean straight right directly to the chin of Roxanne CCR. Perfect timing, perfect execution, an absolutely flawless finish. At that point, it looked like Tracy's life was finally turning around. She was dominating opponents, delivering highlight reel performances, and preparing to begin her professional career. But life had another difficult chapter waiting for her. Around this time, Tracy's mother suddenly became seriously ill. Her condition continued getting worse, leading to constant hospital visits and painful uncertainty. Looking back on that heartbreaking period, Tracy remembered hearing words nobody ever wants to hear. They pretty much told me there was no chance for her. Then on August 28th, 2015, tragedy struck again. Her mother's heart stopped. For Tracy, losing her mother became another devastating moment in a life that had already experienced so much loss. To keep both her brother and mother close to her, Tracy Cortez got tattoos in their honor. She later explained, "Just seeing them whenever I want reminds me that I already survived the hardest part of my life." Instead of breaking her, their memory became her fuel. Every training session, every fight, every victory, she carried them with her. With a renewed sense of purpose, Tracy returned to training stronger than ever. Soon, she stepped into what would become her final amateur fight. The matchup was against Amanda Jones at Tough Enough, Round 7. Operation Knockout, held on November 19th, 2016. The fight begins, and Cortez explodes out of her corner. No hesitation, no waiting, immediate pressure. She shoots for a single-leg takedown and executes it beautifully. Amanda Jones hits the canvas as Tracy immediately begins controlling position. Cortez keeps heavy top pressure, smothering her opponent while searching for submissions and maintaining complete control on the ground. Jones tries to create opportunities, but Tracy shuts everything down. Round 1 ends with Cortez completely in command. Round 2 starts. Again, Cortez reads the movement perfectly. She counters, locks up the head position, and drags Amanda Jones back to the mat. From there, she keeps crushing pressure from the top, working to pass guard, and using sharp forearm control to dominate every exchange. This wasn't just another fight anymore. This was Tracy proving she was ready for something bigger.
Full position there for Tracy Cortez. Big right hands to the rib cage, and there is the bell.
Your winner by unanimous decision and new Operation Knockout Women's Flyweight Champion, the blue corner, Tracy Cortez.
Unanimous decision, Tracy Cortez.
darse el derribo muy rápido. No pensé que iba a medir mal.
La chica de Monterrey ha resultado más fuerte, me parece, de lo que esperaba Tracy Cortez, por lo tanto no ha podido llevarla directamente al tema de la sumisión.
A ver, a ver.
Defender, es una muchacha que ya prácticamente olvidó su plan de pelea, está tratando de sobrevivir de nuevo. Tracy, y es todo, señores, es todo.
Thus, Tracy Cortez secured a knockout victory in the second round, continuing her impressive streak of finish wins. Her next matchup came against Erin Blanchfield. There wasn't much flashy drama in the fight, but it was a clear display of control. Both fighters were competitive in striking exchanges, but Tracy's wrestling was on another level. She repeatedly dictated where the fight took place and controlled the pace for all 3 rounds. However, one unusual detail from this event stood out. For the first time ever, instead of traditional ring girls holding round cards, a ring man was introduced during the event. That role was performed by former UFC fighter Elias Theodorou. According to the fighters, he performed exceptionally well, but the real focus quickly returned to Tracy's rise. This performance became a turning point in her career. It caught the attention of UFC management and opened the door she had been working toward her entire life. The opportunity came through Dana White's Contender Series, a platform where rising fighters compete for a chance to earn a UFC contract directly in front of UFC President Dana White. It is a high-pressure stage where one performance can change everything, and Tracy Cortez stepped into it ready. In July 2019, she faced Maria Agapova in the Contender Series Octagon. From the opening bell, Tracy set a relentless pace. She used her wrestling to control positioning, while her striking remained sharp and purposeful. Every exchange showed balance between offense and control. Takedowns, pressure, and composure defined her performance. Agapova struggled to find rhythm as Tracy continuously shifted between striking and grappling, never allowing her to settle. After 3 dominant rounds, Tracy's hand was raised, and more importantly, she earned her UFC contract. Her debut came on November 16, 2019, against Vanessa Melo. From the very start, Tracy Cortez established herself as a wrestling-first fighter. She controlled distance with sharp punches and body kicks, then immediately transitioned into clinch pressure. Against the fence, she repeatedly secured takedowns and maintained dominant top control with heavy pressure and short elbows. Even in striking exchanges, her goal was clear: close distance and initiate grappling. It was a complete performance. Dominant control, relentless pressure, clean execution. A unanimous decision victory in her UFC debut. On October 10, 2020, she faced Stephanie Egger. This fight showcased her elite grappling IQ. Despite Egger's judo background, Tracy neutralized her completely. She controlled positioning, dominated the clinch, and consistently scored takedowns whenever needed. Egger was never able to build momentum, as Tracy constantly disrupted her rhythm with chain wrestling and control. It was one of her most technically refined performances to date. Another unanimous decision win. On April 17, 2021, she fought Justine Kish, a closely contested battle, where striking was relatively even. But once again, Tracy's wrestling became the difference. She controlled exchanges along the fence, used clinch pressure to slow the pace, and relied on grappling to reset whenever things got chaotic. The judges were split, but her control and consistency secured the victory. On May 7, 2022, she faced Melissa Gatto against a dangerous rising opponent. Tracy delivered a calm and tactical performance. She neutralized Gatto's striking by closing distance, initiating clinches, and scoring key takedowns throughout the fight. Once again, control defined the outcome. On September 16, 2023, Tracy Cortez faced Jasmine Jasudavicius. This fight was a mix of gritty striking exchanges and classic Cortez-style control. Jasudavicius tried to push the pace in the stand-up and force exchanges, but Tracy remained composed under pressure. She countered effectively, stayed defensively responsible, and repeatedly shut down takedown attempts. Every time the opponent tried to build momentum, Tracy disrupted it immediately. When the fight entered clinch range, Tracy Cortez was completely in her element. She controlled position, dictated pressure against the fence, and forced the fight into her preferred style of combat. Pinning Jasmine Jasudavicius against the fence, Tracy Cortez unleashed constant pressure, landing knees, controlling position, and slowly grinding her opponent down. Even under pressure, Tracy stayed calm and composed. She outworked her opponent in key exchanges and once again relied on her wrestling to control the most important moments of the fight. Another dominant unanimous decision victory. On July 13, 2024, Tracy Cortez stepped into the octagon to face Rose Namajunas. This was not just another fight. Tracy accepted it on short notice after the original main event collapsed. The quick turnaround made the weight cut extremely difficult. So much so that she famously cut her hair during the weigh-in to make the flyweight limit. Her opponent, Rose Namajunas, is a two-time UFC strawweight champion and one of the most technical strikers in MMA history. From the opening seconds, Rose's precision, timing, and range control gave her the advantage. Tracy attempted to close the distance and bring the fight into wrestling range, but Rose stayed sharp with jabs, kicks, and constant angle changes. Whenever Tracy managed to clinch or shoot for takedowns, Rose defended well and quickly reset the distance. Despite Tracy's effort to impose her grappling-heavy style, the lack of preparation time and the brutal weight cut clearly affected her performance. She fought with heart and determination and went the full distance, but ultimately lost by unanimous decision. This marked Tracy's first defeat since her professional debut. However, considering the circumstances, it was a setback many believed she would learn from and return stronger. After a year away from competition, Tracy Cortez returned to the cage, not just to win, but to make a statement. On June 28th, 2025, at UFC 317, she faced Vivian Araujo. From the very beginning, Tracy looked sharp and refreshed. She controlled the fight on the feet with clean jabs and strong body shots, showing improved timing and confidence. In the third round, she took the fight to the ground and completely dominated her opponent until the final bell. It was a full one-sided performance. The judges awarded her a unanimous decision victory. Tracy Cortez won every round of the fight. And once again, she reminded the MMA world of her potential. A fighter built on pressure, control, and resilience, now proving she belongs among the elite. What do you think? Can Tracy Cortez become a UFC champion?